Travis Wingoodsell. Wasn't planning on doing any other videos for the day, but YouTube has again allowed a cyberbully to attack me. And as a result, I had to appeal. But this is what I was expecting. YouTube is a paid investor of the church and are therefore compromised by the church to support and defend the church. So all it takes is an abusive cyberbullying Mormon to set things in motion. It was on an older video, whereas the newer ones are quite brazen now that information has been revealed to you guys. But back then, it was still a wow, what are you talking about, Travis? type of video. What Mormons need to understand, and they refuse to, is that you can't be a cyberbully for the church. Apologists for the church are cyberbullies. They used to be verbal abuse bullies. They use ad hominem attacks on people who point out faults and problems with the church's claims. But the Book of Mormon even condemns Mormons who side with a prophet over God. In the story of Abinadi, which is the thumbnail for this other video I'm uploading, LDS prophets who harm and murder are not from the LDS Mormon God. Abinadi was inspired to go tell the people that they need to be good people, that the corruption of King Noah and his priests are corrupting the people, and it's leading them into a dangerous situation in regards to the Lamanites. And so they were offended. How dare you? You're a terrorist. You're mentally ill. Lock him up. And they locked him up. And they eventually burned him to death. But while he was being accused by the priests, they tried to trap him to say something that they would have cause to murder him. They were purposely looking for a slip of his words to accuse him of sin or corruption himself. That their just blanket accusations would then be self-fulfilled and justified. But Abinadi in the story is able to turn it back onto them. You dare ask me this Isaiah question when you're in the position of being the priests of this people? Exactly. And goes over the 10 Commandments, which are post-captivity. Oh, the video just finished. So let me publish this. I see YouTube is back to spying on me and slowing down the processing too as a result of that accusation. Man, it really pisses me off. The evil. I mean, the church literally wants me silenced. Do you understand that, guys? The church wants me silenced. And it has nothing to do with me being a false accuser and a liar, because the church doesn't worry about those guys. Those guys who are lying about the church, no. You know, all they have to, they trust the Mormons to know that don't listen to them. They're not Mormon anymore, or whatever. But me, they've been keeping me a secret from all of you. I've not been excommunicated. They've wanted me silenced. They removed me from society for 6 years. And why? Because I came to them in 1998 and said, hey, Joseph Smith is a translator. Isn't that awesome? Church is true. And they've been attacking me ever since. And eventually got me removed from society for 6 years. It was supposed to be forever. And that sort of fell through, as you can tell. But they're coming back. Now I've got a lawsuit. And YouTube just won't leave me alone either, because they're financially invested. I'm in favor of Xi Jinping? Are you kidding me? Okay, somebody is throwing out accusations again. See, this is part of the trick that they think they can do. They do a double spin. And so if I denounce one, I approve the other. If I approve the one, then I denounce the other. Psychiatrists use that trick in their little bubble thing questions. Regularly, almost regularly, almost never, always never, whatever the non-dichotomous questions are. But that's what he's doing here. He's now going after me for both dictators. So am I. And I don't even remember bringing up Xi Jinping in the name of Joseph Smith had for evil by LDS Mormon Church. So again, he's just throwing it out there. Yes, there are Russian agents in Utah, but you are completely blind to the Chinese agents at the same time that are also in Utah. See, I didn't bring up Chinese on purpose. I didn't bring up Iran or Pakistan. We've got Pakistanis here in Utah because they're refugees. Oh man, I can't get the full comment in his thing. He has the one last sentence about Jesus. But his comment also reveals that he is attacking me for something, but you can then see what he agrees to. See, he's trying to get me on this, but then he himself reveals his own same thing. And so even though he's trying to pull deny the one accept the other on me, he himself is guilty of it himself, as he's revealing that yes, there are Russian agents here in Utah. But mine was not just throwing it out there. Oh, there are Russian agents all over America and they're here in Utah. No, I told you about my experience just a few months ago in the grocery store down at Smith's, where I'm getting orange juice and a woman comes over, gets on her phone and speaks Russian. What is she doing speaking Russian in Utah on the phone? You just don't do that. And so, and why is she doing it right around me? When I look at her in the eyes, she looks at me in the eyes, and she's still speaking Russian. And I know the difference between Russian and Spanish, because there's a high Hispanic community here in West Valley, where I live. It's not Hispanic. It's not Spanish. It's not French, which I took in high school. It would be silence, because in French, phonemes are all silent. And so yes, I know the difference. I watch Steven Seagal movies. I know what Russian sounds like. But I mean, my goodness, this guy just goes off on me. Get that program off. But he's just rambling. He has no clue. He's just throwing things out and not putting them in an ordered form, as I am able to do for you guys, even though you are frustrated as I divert into tangents every now and then. Oh, that's right, because I think I did talk about how certain groups were going to attack others once America falls. Yeah. So like when we took out Saddam Hussein, created a vacuum in the Middle East, and that gave rise to the conquering tribe of Al-Qaeda. They were nothing before that. Saddam Hussein kept them in check. They were not an issue. They were not working with Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was purposely keeping them down. When Bush, hanged them, technically. I don't know why they can't say hung. Oh, that's for things and objects, Travis. But it created a vacuum, a power vacuum, where nobody knew who was in charge now. Because America, we just went in to conquer. We had no interest in running things. We were going to let people have a democratic society. Yeah, well, they've never had one. They don't know how it's supposed to work. Anyway, we're not even Democrat. We're not supposed to be. That means majority rules, minority loses. But, yeah, apparently I triggered this guy. But I'm not seeing anything of value in anything of his comments. He just wants me to emphasize that China is bad too. Yeah, so is North Korea. I made that clear. I wasn't in favor of China. I used them too, that they were going to attack. So I don't know why he's all upset with me, other than to cyberbully me. Because that's what this is. This is cyberbullying. He's not using any legitimate thing. Now he's talking about descendants of Nimrod. Really? Nimrod. Okay. Again, that's the misinformation. Nimrod was Egyptian. He was not Semitic. He was a descendant of Ham. And so this scriptural thing that he, as the birthright blessing son through Ham, just abandons Egypt and goes to Mesopotamia and there establish in Ur of Babylon a millennia or so before Ur of Babylon existed. You guys are getting played. You have so much false information that is coming out here. It's just, my God. So hopefully he's the bully that attacked me. I forgot to check the time on that. Let me see if I can pull it up again. As I took a snapshot picture. 10:26, that would be this one. Man, I cannot see. 3 hours ago? Okay, so it was after. Alright. So it could have been, I'd have to, I think it was, well, I don't know. Got to stop the bullying, Mormons. That makes the church false, not true. The obsessed with porn slowed down for Sunday, which was interesting. It was a big, massive surge when I first put it out. And then yesterday it was just slowed down. And more people hate it. 2 extra than the Russians. Because there are 2 Russians that always put thumbs down on every video. Just to let me know that they are watching and taking everything down. My God. It's going to get bad. If YouTube rebels against me and sides with the cyberbullies, I'm not going to be able to communicate with you anymore. Just understand that. They will have succeeded again to shut down another YouTube video on me. They shut down the other one, and now they're going to be shutting down this one, it looks like. This is what evil does. They've been doing it the whole time. If you remember William Morgan, from which the Smiths then started the whole thing off to leave off where he failed, because that's what they were doing. They were wrongfully arresting him over and over again. They were not going to let him publish his warning to America. And so the Smiths took over. But then they found out that the Smiths were involved. And so yeah, Joseph Smith got arrested over and over and over again so that he couldn't run the church. And then Brigham Young exalted himself. So just understand, they will keep fighting me. The church cannot give up. If they give up, that means I win. Obviously. But yeah, they can't admit that they're bad. Nobody wants to admit they're bad. Oh, yeah, I've been plotting to destroy America. Oh, you caught me, James Bond, or Inspector Gadget, or whoever. You know, in the shows, that bad guys always confess. In real life, nobody confesses. You know, that's why the police purposely take away our rights by saying, hey, if you confess, you can go back to your life rather than staying here indefinitely in jail. What? I didn't do it. Hey, you know, okay, take it to court then. Say goodbye to your life. No more job, no more home, no more transportation, no more communication, no more family. You know, accusation dominates our society. And the church wants me silenced. See, all they had to do was contact the state president and say, State President, we want Travis excommunicated. Do it now. He would have had no choice, unless he himself wanted to get excommunicated. But they don't do that, because I came to them saying, hey, Joseph is a translator. So, yeah, I mean, this is bad news, guys. The enemy, as the Book of Mormon warned us of, is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And YouTube is now siding with the enemy. Well, they've been siding with the enemy. They're paid by the enemy. I should have put that in the claim, in my appeal as well. You guys are paid by the church. You need to back off. I did it with the other one on the other channel, and they backed off on that one. So It does appear then that they've realized I'm no longer doing videos on that old channel. They found out that Travis Wayne Goodsell is now TWG. Travis is the twig. So, yeah. So now I'm being attacked here. So, I don't know how many more videos left I'll be doing, but just understand, they're coming for me. Kamala Harris wasn't talking about Trump, because he already got me, in conjunction with the church on my website. Interesting, though, as a side note, remember the oranges of the investigation that I got Trump to say that morning? Turns out that vitamin D helps with coronavirus. I can't remember which news channel. I think it might have been CBS. Had talked with a doctor who was finding that administering high doses of vitamin D through orange juice was helping people. It wasn't curing, no cures, but it was helping. So, interesting. What a nightmare.